Khris Wrestling Views. Today, you guys, I'm gonna be doing a review over AEW Dynamite that just recently went off about 10 minutes ago on my time. So tonight's AEW, it was a pretty steady one. It wasn't good like last week's AEW or anything like that. There were some matches that happened, and I'm gonna go ahead and get into the details of it right now. So the opening match was Matt Sydal versus Kenny Omega. The AEW champion Kenny Omega. He faced Matt Sydal, of course, what I said. Kenny Omega won with the one winged angle. Basically the match was pretty steady. Matt Sydal put up a pretty good match with Kenny Omega, and he tried all that he could, and I give the match a 4.3. Although Kenny Omega, he I can understand that he likes to be on top. We all know that Kenny Omega came from New Japan Pro Wrestling. We all know that Kenny Omega, is a great superstar. He's been in all different wrestling promotions except for one company that everyone knows of, but he hasn't gone there yet because I guess he feels as if that company won't do him any good. But then again, congratulations to Kenny Omega winning his match tonight against Matt Sydal. Matt Sydal, with him, he's a good superstar. He has a brother also. He has a brother also. I can't remember what his name is. I know he's normally with. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but you guys probably know him. Then the second match they had on AEW guys was Hangman Adam Page versus Caesar Bonnie, I believe his name was. That match I have to give it a 3.3. We already knew that Hangman Adam Page was gonna win. Of course, like I said, we already know that Hangman Adam Page, he doesn't like to be a part of groups or anything like that, simply because of what happened with him and Kenny Omega. That one time when Kenny Omega turned on him, and ever since then, Hangman Adam Page doesn't want to join the Dark Order. He don't want to join the Matt Hardy's office group with Butcher and Blade, and the other guys that Matt Hardy has, of course, like the Bunny as well. But then again, Hangman Adam Page, keep on winning matches. Hopefully, somewhere down the line, he'll possibly he could possibly face. Let me think of somebody. I said if he faced Darby Allin for the TNT Championship, he could possibly win. But we'll see somewhere down the line when Hangman Adam Page will have a title opportunity. Alright, next part, you guys, promo of Britt Baker. She was upset about the crowd didn't give her a big pop of how, impressive her match was last week against Thunder Rosa. And that match was indeed incredible. And they went all the way out the way with that match. And, like I said, they did a hell of a job with that match, you guys. So, with that, I have to give kudos to both Thunder Rosa and Dr. Britt Baker for putting on a incredible match last week. And after then, there was a backstage promo with Christian Caesar, Frankie Kazarian, and Christian Cage. Christian Cage. Sees Christian, then Frankie Kazarian. Frankie Kazarian sees Christian Cage, and sees the shirt says "Outwork Everyone," and Frankie Kazarian asks, "When does that part, the work, outwork? When the work part begins?" And Christian basically, was saying that it starts next week. And after then, he was like, "You doing it?" Frankie Kazarian asked Frankie Kazarian, let's see what he did. He asked Khris and Cage, he was like, "You work Monday?" He was like, "Oh no, you don't." He was like, "Well, check me out in my match on Elevation on Monday." And he was basically saying that since Christian hasn't wrestled in 7 years, then it'll be hard for Christian to try to wrestle him next week. So Christian challenges Frankie Kazarian to a one-on-one match next week on AEW. Now we can definitely see how this match is gonna go down. It might be a good match, but we will see how that will go. But I'm ready to see that match next week on AEW. All right. So the third match they had, you guys, which was Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler and Shawn Spears, members of the Pinnacle, versus Griff Garrison, Pillman Jr., and Dante Martin. So basically, Shawn Spears hit like a one-hand spine buster. I believe it was on Dante Martin for the victory. And then, of course, they talked about what the Pinnacle is, how is that group, what's the group all about, and all that stuff. Then there was a but I have to give that match right there a 3.5 because the match could have got better, but it was a good, okay match, but not like good, but it's like a okay good match. As a promo, like I said, with the Pinnacle, they talked about how if you're with the Pinnacle, you're safe, and so on and so forth. Then there was a promo where QT Marshall, member of Cody Rhodes' group, the Nightmare Family, QT Marshall speaks about how he's always working more than Cody, and how when Cody leaves off TV, that he goes and lays up with his wife at the hotel. And QT said while QT is working all the time and away from his wife and blah blah blah, then he basically said that he wants an exhibition match against Cody Rhodes next week on AEW. And for that, guys, I'm really down to see QT Marshall versus Cody Rhodes next week, but we will definitely see how that match will go with those two superstars. But now, you guys, Rey Fenix, Penta, and Laredo Kid versus Mac and Nick Jackson, Young Bucks, and Brendan Cutler. This match right here was a great match. It was like movement after movement. It wasn't no let me sit down, let me take a break type match or anything like that. But this right here, you guys, was the match. So Penta, let's see, who was it? Penta, Rey Fenix, and Laredo Kid basically won because what happened? I'm trying to remember. Let me see what happened. Laredo Kid ends up picking up the win, pinning Brendan Cutler, and so they lost the match. After the match, you guys, like I said, let me give it a 5-star on that match. Kenny Omega attacks Laredo Kid and talked about remembering Laredo Kid from AAA Lucha Libre, I think it was in Mexico, and say how he chose the Young Bucks, but why did the Young Bucks choose Brandon Cutler as partner? And then after then, he said that who's gonna give the Young Bucks one more chance to do the toss up thing with the hand. I won't do it here on my channel because I don't want to get demonetized. In case if I don't want to. So, all right. So after then, Matt and Nick Jackson, they end up walking out the ring. After they walked out the ring, you guys, that's when Rey Fenix and Penta super kick Kenny Omega in the mouth, and then out comes the Good Brothers to check on him. Kenny Omega had a little blood from that super kick from them, and you can actually hear that thing out through his speakers, you guys. I was like, wow, that was a loud kick. So yeah, we're definitely gonna see where this is gonna lead to. Maybe it'll be Kenny Omega, Good Brothers versus Laredo Kid, Penta, and Ray Phoenix. But we'll definitely see. All right, the fifth match that happened, you guys, was Nyla Rose versus Ty Conti. Nyla Rose, of course, had Vicky Guerrero with her. Rose hits a knee drop off the top rope, but the winner ended up being Tay Conti. Wins with a DDT, where it's basically like a hammerlock DDT to me. And then after that, Rose attacks Ty, and then Kairi Shida comes out to try and help Tay Conti, and then out comes what's her name? Out comes the Bunny, and attack Shida with the kendo stick. So I only have to give that match a 3 because we already knew. I can already feel that something was fishy about that match. But anyways, let's keep on going. Next week matches, it's gonna be Shida and Tay Conti versus the Bunny and Nyla Rose. Christian Cage versus Frankie Kazarian. QT Marshall versus Cutter Oates in an exhibition match. Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid versus the Good Brothers. Okay. Probably along with Kenny Omega. I think that's who was on there. I don't know why I always forget Kenny Omega. Then the sixth match, you guys, that happened tonight on AEW Dynamite. John Silver versus the TNT champion Darby Allin. Darby hits the coffin drop on the Dark Order on the outside. John Silver tries to go for DDT and does a couple knee strikes. Darby still kicks out. And after then, you guys, Silver tries to go for Brody Lee's, the little and then, powerbomb type thing. But Darby ends up reversing it and hitting a sunset flip for the win. Hardy attacks Darby Allin. Sting hits hits most of everyone with the bat. Tay Conti then goes after the Bunny, and that would close up AEW Dynamite. So it was an okay Dynamite, not as good as the last two were, but we'll definitely oh yeah, also to mention, Jade said she wants said she's gonna get she can't wait to get her hands on Red Velvet. Then we heard something from who was it? It was John Moxley and his friend Eddie Kingston saying how leg was broken, how they're gonna pay for that and all that good stuff. But anyways, it was an okay AEW, not as good as I expect it to be, but in the coming weeks there'll probably be better progress. But I really want to thank you guys for supporting my channel here on YouTube.com. I really thank you all for everything, you guys. Most of the times I'm able to do videos. If you want to leave comments down below in the description, anything you want to ask me, anything you want me to have to do my opinions on, make sure you leave down in the comment section below, and I'll smash that like button for good luck, you guys, because if you don't, hopefully you don't have any bad luck. But thank you all for watching Khris Wrestling Reviews here on YouTube.com. Also, make sure you continue to check out more of my other videos as well. Thank you all for watching Khris Wrestling Reviews here on YouTube.com.